Hello, my name is Rachel Mongillo, and today I'm going to be doing my presentation for History and Systems of Psychology. I'm going to be talking about a couple different topics, so I hope you enjoy. First, I'm going to be discussing Rogers and his unconditional positive regard. This was when people received things such as love, sympathy, and warmth, simply for being the person that they were. Conscious experiences of this allowed them to become a fully functioning person, and that was when one becomes psychologically adjusted to living. Now, I really enjoyed learning about unconditional positive regard because I want to use it in my future profession. It's extremely important that people feel loved and accepted, as simple as that sounds, and I want to work with young individuals that are suffering from, eating disorders and other mental disorders like depression and bipolar, and I just have a really big heart for people that are suffering in those areas. When people are going through therapy, it's really important that they feel like they're loved unconditionally for who they are. I want to make sure that I can show that to my future patients because it's going to make the whole therapy process a lot easier, and it's going to allow them to just come to grips with the things that are going on in their life if they feel like they are unconditionally loved for who they are, since every human has the innate need for love. Next is Client-Centered Therapy by Rogers. I absolutely loved this topic. This was probably my favorite. This was the approach to therapy that got rid of all needs for diagnoses and all names for different disorders. And Roger called his individuals that he was counseling clients opposed to patients. I loved this theory so much, and I definitely want to incorporate this into my future professions. Rogers found it necessary to get to know the individual person better before he counseled them because he found it really important to know the person's personal needs and wants. I really agree with this because I feel like people should not be placed into groups when they're counseled, but the counselor should just really make sure that they focus on the person that they're counseling, that individual person. And helping a person based on their needs is going to be just a lot more beneficial than helping a group of people because it's going to allow that person to feel like, just an actual person opposed to just a number. Next, I'm going to be talking about Freud and a couple of his theories. The first one that I really like to learn about was psychoanalysis. Freud was the leader of this study of the unconscious. It stated that mental illness comes from mainly psychological factors. The main focus of psychoanalysis was to further understand the cause and the origin of mental illnesses and to use these results to treat the patients. I really enjoyed learning about psychoanalysis. It was just really interesting to me, and I definitely want to research this more in the future just on my own time because I really enjoyed it. I think it would be really great to psychoanalyze the people that I'll be counseling in the future because it'll just be a really good way of, getting into the unconscious and figuring out why people behave the way that they do and why they feel the feelings that they feel. And again, since I want to work with people that are suffering from, depression and other disorders that come from the psyche, I believe that it'll be really helpful to understand what unconscious factors are coming from this and what factors play into why they have the disorder. Lastly, I'm going to be talking about free association. Again, I really liked free association. This was one of my favorites. This was when Freud encouraged his patients to say whatever came to their mind first, so they were speaking freely in a way. The text stated that although the method made it harder to discover the original traumatic experience, it allowed the patient to deal with the problem rationally once it was found and discovered. Resistance occurred when one began to recall a traumatic experience. And I completely agree with free association because I find it a really good way to dig into the unconscious, but it allows the person to do it themselves. I want to use this on my patients someday because I just find that digging into the unconscious in a rational way is just going to be so much more beneficial than using, hypnosis or any other form of substance to make the person reach into their own unconscious, because I feel like they'll be able to deal with the problem better if they're under their own rational control. They'll be able to just focus on the problem better. Also, throughout my life, God has placed a lot of people into my life that have suffered from depression, and it kills me to watch them. And I've found that sometimes they just don't exactly know how to verbalize how they're feeling. They just feel sadness, and they don't know why. And I feel like using free association will, help them to just express themselves and to feel heard, even if they don't know why they're feeling certain feelings. And, eventually their words will allow me to understand and to determine the reasons for their behavior and their thoughts. So overall, I just think free association is going to be a really, really great method for counseling. All right, thank you. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Psychology with Sigmund Freud. I'm Sigmund Freud, and today we are going to be doing a therapy session with Stephanie. We will be practicing my method of free association. So first, I'm going to ask Stephanie to sit back on the couch and relax. Next, I'm going to talk to her, and I'm going to tell her a couple of words, and then she's going to tell me what comes to mind first when I say these words. So, the first word is dog.
Sex.
Cat.
Sex.
Horse.
Sex.
Death.
Sex.
Nail polish.
Sex.
Burritos.
Sex.
Middle school.
Sex.
Hairspray.
SCX.
Puppies.
Sex.
Lamp.
Sex.
Blanket.
Sex.
Cigar.
Cigar.
I like that answer. I like cigars. All right, wonderful. Now, according to free association, Stephanie was clearly abused when she was a child. She was teased in middle school, and she's just straight up feeling sad. Also, I think she might have just been thinking about sex, because that's what the world revolves around anyway. That's what we're always thinking about. Well, I hope you all have learned a little something about my biggest contribution to psychology today. Once again, I'm Sigmund Freud. Thank you. See you next time.
Bye.